Welcome to the Silent Voice, another episode, another conversation, and the topic for today. Um, Before that, welcome, Raminta.
Welcome, and
Thank
welcome everyone who's watching.
yeah, thanks for watching it, and I hope everyone gets some insight, some wisdom from our knowledge, experience. And today's topic is very interesting. Uh, we were thinking about some topics, so it just randomly came into our thoughts that cheating, because there was a very interesting video that on Instagram we found. It's about three cats. So how the cheating is, and the good and the bad and the ugly side of this cheating, and the truth um, about how that impacts our lives um, when there is cheating involved in a relationship. Mostly it doesn't just impact two people's life, but it does impact everybody around them. So let me know, what is your thought, Ramita, about this topic?
About the cheating in general, I think that this type of behavior always is caused by something. And when you look at the very clear truth, if the third person is involved in the relationship, it means that something wrong is in the real relationship. Something wrong is can be in the different way from one side and from other side. But what I thinking the silence is very bad outcome of the cheating. And usually because of the shame, because of the guilt for both of us, or for both of the partners, is making that problem unsolved or unspeaked up, and usually maybe like pushed somewhere behind by pretending that nothing happened. Because the first, of course, there is anger, there is like when you figure out that someone has cheated on you, there is a lot of complicated and different emotions, because you still have feelings for that person. At the same time, you are hating him because he betrayed you. Also, you cannot have any physical connection at the time. I'm talking about the beginning, at the first stage. And like usually, what from my experience and from my clients' experience, usually after that very intense situation, when everything is solved, comes silent. And people don't discuss about that for a long period at time. And the outcome in the relationship where a person felt that cheating usually brings to isolation in general, because of a lot of fear.
Yes. And before dive into more into this topic, I wanted to share this three cat story from Instagram post. Uh, so these two cats are part of the family. That is the background. And there is a third cat sitting on the street. And the male cat is getting into the house through the door, through the window. And as soon as he tried to get into the window, the female cat in the house showed up at the window. Now the male cat was afraid, scared to get inside, and the owner actually forced that cat inside the house. So it seemed like from that small clip, the male cat was cheating and got caught by her female partner at the house. And we'll share that clip with this post, with this video. You can watch that. So that was actually a very good context about cheating. Even it is natural, I think, in the wild too, in the animal kingdom, and but we are human beings. I think we have higher consciousness and higher intelligence than animals.
I would disagree because if we would had higher intelligence, higher emotional intelligence, respect, there would be less cheating than in nature. But as we see in nature, cheating is very rare. And if it's happening, it is punished very strongly for that. So, for example, in the bee community, if there is a leading partner, leading male who won this season to have relationship with the females, if someone else will try to do that, he's out of the community or he is killed. So it's a very clear rules in
Mhm.
nature, but in because we are human beings, we supposed to have conscious what the damage it will be, but we are doing this more often.
Yes, hoping that not going to get caught, people are doing the cheating, knowing the risk, knowing um, the consequences. People are doing it, and when it comes to the consequences, being getting caught, and for that action, um, it's not pretty. Sometimes it's ugly.
I think it's always ugly because if we are conscious in a relationship, if we really respect the partner and we have some kind of feelings to someone else,
Hmm.
because we are human beings, of course we can feel sympathy to one or other person. If we have a relationship, we have to be respectful about where we are, what is happening. And if I would feel that, okay, I have different feeling for that personality. First thing from the psychological part would be ask yourself what you are missing in a relationship with your current partner. Speak up with the partner about that okay, this is what I felt. It means that through the relationship with you, I'm not getting that and I'm missing it. Maybe it's attention, maybe it's, I don't know, compliments, maybe it's like time together or something like that. And then you can figure out even before going to the cheating, when you first have a feeling. But what usually is it's what is usually happening, we are keeping silent by how to say, put everything inside of us, trying to deal with all of those emotions, and also building a relationship behind other back, other person who is supposed to be the number one with who we should talk all the time about all the problems, about all the feelings, what we are feeling, how we are feeling, what is happening. So I think that, it's always ugly because it's always behind the person with who you're supposed to have relationship, like genuine open relationship and conversations about all the problems that you are going through.
Yes, that is very true. What you brought up, the open communication and conversations. We have um, other episodes that we did spoke about. We did speak about the conversations, and maybe audience, you can watch that one. Um, but let me come back to the root. What does a person triggers? What is the trigger? Basically, a person consider doing cheating in a relationship. What are the common factors?
I think there are two different situations. First of all, we have to understand about that some types of personalities that have some kind of disorders, who will never have emotional attachment to any personality. So these types of people, they usually have not one cheating episode, but multiple cheating episode with multiple different people, because what they are seeking is that, that first affection, that power. It's some kind of the power. Someone is also about the physical body, like the testosterone level and all other stuff. But we have to understand that if it's the personality who repeatedly doing this, it because of the some kind of disorders that there are a lot of scientific research about that. They usually have one night sex, they usually have unprotected sex, they have like multiple relationship at the same time. They always, this is how they always see themselves as a personality. Those personalities who are really self-centered, by having a relationship easily, a sexual relationship, intimate relationship with no connection, it makes them to feel good about themselves, that they are able to do anything. And it's disorder. If we look at other way, like in the healthy human beings who are a couple having relationship together, of course there are some weak points in every relationship. And at those some weak points, there can come a personality who may see that they can get some advantage from that person. They see that weakness that they can use for them, for also for their needs. And usually this is a mix, what I'm seeing usually in from just from my experience and my client experience. What is happening? There is some problem in a relationship, like uh, children question, job question, lack of time together, a lack of conversation because of the some kind of situation at work, at home. We all have that. And at that point, if there is coming a personality who is quite manipulating, who knows how to get that attachment, bring that imagining like life together, it
Mhm.
will bring that personality out of the relationship, healthy relationship, to a cheating. And also there, I would say there is other way that is, let's say, maybe healthier. But when you see that you are not growing with a partner anymore, that it won't suit you, there is sometimes you cannot build a relationship if you see that you just have to go to the separate path. And then of course coming other person. But usually in this situation, sometimes the second partner comes during the relationship with the first one, but they are not so intense. Usually they have some boundaries, or they inform their partner that, okay, we are going separately, and just then start to build a relationship. So this is how I would make some difference in the cheating, because it's not always the same.
Yes, but what you didn't mention about, yes, there is some kind of a mental health disorder that people are getting into this kind of behavior. So, but it's not even, I mean, with the disorder, of course, the cheating and everything, what's ever happening, but cheating can be not just physical, can be beyond that, beyond in the sense like it could be emotional. You, uh, because we are conscious human being. We know if we're responsible, we are conscious about if we're doing something, we know every action has its own consequences. And if a person is not mentally disordered, that person is going to think twice before doing something. But there could be occasion, it's not about mental health disorder, but could be the circumstances, situation you get into, not just physical, maybe emotionally. How do you
What what
how do you see it in
circumstances
flow?
you would no, what circumstances could be that you are involved in a relationship with someone else while you are in a relationship with one person? What circumstances you would say that you will make that choice?
Yeah, anything, let's say maybe at work, maybe in social gathering, people getting close, and you for a moment the person thought that, oh, I can get away with this. Maybe just one night stand, or maybe just having that emotional connection or bond, some kind of emotional influence that you started to like someone, that the person get involved in that relationship, not physically, maybe emotionally.
Okay, so what you are seeking from the other person, this is what you are not getting from the partner.
Yes,
And
that
from
is
the
the.
minute when you are starting to hide that, it's a cheating. And
Mm,
it's your choice because you always have a choice. Even like not to have sex, but also maybe have a conversations, maybe have some emotional bond that you are sharing more than with other.
mhm,
Like you can be vulnerable and open, not with that person, not with your partner about some topics. So
mhm,
it shows a lot that this is your choice because what is happening with a new person is easier to pretend and to bring you as a different personality than in the old relationship, because in old relationship you already show yourself, and every time when you are starting new relationship you can build, especially at the beginning, that perfect personality that you don't have, a conflict where you are like where you see that you are hurting other person. And
mhm,
then what is happening, I'm having conversation with that person by showing myself in the way that I want to be seen, and he is accepting me because he don't see the past. And if I don't want to solve the past, this is why I'm talking not with my partner, because I already know what I have to do to
mhm.
have a healthy relationship, and I don't want to solve that problem, so I'm looking for the easier way.
Yeah, but again, there could be circumstances where you get involved and you can't get out of that relationship. Started with a hi, hello to become more vulnerable, emotional, intimate relationship, not physically, but emotionally. Now this person is stuck, but this person has no choice but to get trapped into that relationship. To that could be a scenario that you get become physical, then slowly you lose control of your own behaviors.
I think every time when you have a choice to hide something from your partner and you see that you're having emotional bond with someone, this
Hmm.
is a red flag if you are getting into that. Because you always have it like what for me it's always okay. I have a husband 12 years in a marriage and I'm having conversation with this person.
Hmm.
Who is stopping me to cancel that conversation with that person if I see that it's going to the more romantic way, not a friendship?
Hmm.
Why I'm choosing not to stop?
Yes.
What I'm afraid to lose? This means that I'm involved. This means that I'm cheating.
Yes. So that consciousness has to come to who are mentally healthy, not to feel, not to fall on those trap, because there are people always looking for another cheating partner, or maybe just a side hobby for taking
Yes,
some benefits from you.
yes, but usually, it it can start with hi, hello, but when you see that, like, for me, it's always a question: why you're not putting boundaries?
Yes.
Why you are going deeper in that conversation? Why you are going deeper in that communication?
Mm,
What is the thing that you are getting from that?
yes.
Because there is always a very clear rules. Are you committed to your partner, or you are getting involved in that and you're not putting boundaries. Okay, let's stop. This is not where I'm going. I have a wife, I have a husband, I'm with him in a relationship. Why are you not putting that boundaries?
Yes. So the responsibility come to the person who is not keeping that boundaries, knowing that I'm married, I have a responsibility, I have a loyalty towards one partner already, and so if that person is knowing everything consciously, but still making that choice, that's pure cheating consciously.
Yes, yes, yes. You don't need to have a sexual relationship for cheating. You're just choosing someone else to be with you for
Yes.
something that you want to, for something that you are getting out of that relationship. And like in long term, what is happening when I would say when you start lie once, the
Mhm.
lie starting to grow. Because yes, of course, that person, even if it don't have any kind of disorders, he's getting trapped because he's getting connection. He don't want to lose that person. At the
Mhm.
same time, he has connection. This is my husband. But like, despite the fact that, okay, put the boundaries here, let's go talk with my wife or husband, what
Mhm.
is happening. You don't like, okay, you don't, if you are afraid, just my suggestion, you don't need to say that I'm texting with that person and I have a lot of affection and I'm like, but you can say, okay, look, I'm looking at myself and I think that I'm seeking for this type of conversations.
Mhm.
I'm looking for this, like, I want to have to spend more time with you. I think that I'm missing that and I'm looking that for somewhere else. So can we start or like somehow rebuild that what I'm missing?
Yes.
It's for me, one my partner told me very easy answer. When you have text message from two or three people, to
Mhm.
who you are respond first. If you're putting your partner in the second or on the third place, this already says a lot. Why?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
This is the beginning. Yes, if I'm texting to my friend or to someone else in the first place, not responding to my partner, this shows me that I pushing conversation with him or her
Mhm.
to the lower point. Why? Of course, if it's emergency with a friend, I'm not talking about that. But in general, if you're choosing to talk with someone else, not with your partner, this is where the problem starting.
Mm. Yes. So the next question is, okay, so this is purely like if someone is taking that path, yeah, there is some kind of mental disorder or behavior disorder is there. And how do you think, like, so one person does cheating once, that means he's going to cheat again? How do you feel about having that pattern? Have you seen like
With the disorder,
mm-hmm. Go
with the
ahead.
disorders, it's like it's happening all the time.
Mm.
It's like very continuous behavior to have different like different, because they are seeking that excitement, like
Mhm.
short-term excitement. They don't have emotional bond.
Mhm.
If we look at the disorders, they are not able to bring that emotional bond with the person. So usually it's happening not once, and as I mentioned, they have multiple, I'm sorry, multiple partners at once. And they even blame other partners for that. Like, I'm having someone else because you are doing something wrong.
Mhm.
So this is what is happening. And like, in a healthy relationship, yes, of course, sometimes it's happening, as I mentioned, because I'm seeking something from other person that I'm not getting in the relationship, and this is what is happening. So if you start to speak to solve the problem in the relationship, then probably next time when they have a clear understanding and awareness, by having this knowledge that we are sharing now, they are aware. If they choose, okay, this is the situation, I understand where I am, they choose to talk and speak with a partner, it can be, the outcome can be even building a better relationship with a husband or wife that you have long term, like partner that you have a long time relationship. Like what is happening, you have to understand like I think that everybody understands that, even small young children, when you do something wrong and you are not caught, what you will do, you will try to repeat it
Yeah.
till the time that you will be caught.
Mm-hmm.
It's very simple, and it's all, every human beings. You are increase speed over the limit if you won't get caught. The time when police will caught you, for 2 or 3 weeks, you will be very aware about speed limit. This is very simple. The same is with the relationship and with the cheating.
Hmm.
When you are doing that, even if you don't have any kind of disorder, but you see that you are able to do that, and you don't want to solve problem with your wife because she has a small children, she's always angry and pissed, she don't want to have sex with me, like, do I really want to spend 3 months on the therapy by solving like all stuff, by understanding that yes, I don't have enough, I don't give her enough time to rest, like I don't care about her mental health, and I have to wait till she recover. No, it's easy way to go somewhere else to have that from other person. Of course, like I won't choose that. And the same is for the woman too. If, for example, my partner is going through some struggles in the career or having some health issues that he has to solve, do I really want to listen him that, oh, he has problems at a job, he is miserable there, he has conflicts, and he is tired, and he don't want to have sex with me, when there are some like handsome guy who can offer me this, like, all everything, flowers, romance, and all this stuff. So it's just a
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, that is true. So now we have some understanding of where and how the cheating is happening, but there could be really worst case situation where you're the one of the person gets drugged or get influenced with alcohol, maybe drugs, maybe something else, and got into having physical relationship and getting caught. How would you
we
justify that
have
as the cheating?
we have to agree about one, and when one very important thing,
Hmm.
when to have sex, two adult people, not adult people, have to agree to have sex.
Hmm.
Every time when there is alcohol, when there is drugs, it
Hmm.
means rape. If someone is using you to have sex because you are drunk, or you have used drugs, or you are unconscious, you have to understand that this is rape. It's not a cheating. It's absolutely different experience.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we'll talk about this topic sometime in another episode. That is a very interesting topic because there is a lot of uh, related to that, how people are getting influenced or getting raped without their consciousness and not able to talk about those stories. So
Yes.
coming back to this, I think there is. So before we go to the consequences of cheating, I wanted to talk about if there is a mental health disorder that people are doing cheating, knowing everything, and that is the pattern, and they do need that like a dopamine kind of a their healing energy, or getting that energy for their own self because they are self-centered. So that involves probably towards getting to the narcissistic kind of toxic relationship. Maybe that would also involve that side of the story, about narcissistic and toxic relationship, because we have a conversations about narcissistic in another episode, but just wanted to touch base a little bit on that.
It's not always about narcissistic. Usually, yes, there's narcissistic, there is Machiavellist, there are other like schizophrenia. Also, usually schizophrenic personalities are very attached to their partner, so they don't choose cheating. But there are some examples. So there are different disorders, not always narcissistic disorder,
Mhm.
but you have to understand that these type of personalities, they really damage a lot of people. They don't doing this with one personality, they with one person, they are spreading that. And by understanding this, I think it's the most complicated when you have some kind of long-term relationship with a personality who has some kind of disorder, psychopathy. You have to understand that the victim,
Mhm.
usually like 99.9% of cases, blaming herself.
Or himself.
Yes. Like even if they catch a person who is cheating on him, they are very easily manipulating by telling that they don't cheat. They
Mhm.
are lying very clearly in front, like in a face.
Mhm.
Even if you see the clear facts and you show them the clear facts, they
Mhm.
will tell that this is not true by simple explanation. And I will share um couple of examples, like telling that they don't have sex because the other person in a bed was with the panties, or like when you see or catch person chatting with someone, they are telling that this is how I talk with everybody, or even like starting to blame you, like why you are checking my phone, you are not trusting me.
Mhm.
Even when you catch, I had one client who catch her boyfriend having sexual transmitted diseases,
Mhm.
and when she told him that this showing that you are cheating on me, the partner told her, like he was doing a different test and told her that you are cheating on me. And despite the fact that that woman knew that she don't have any sexual relationship with other person, she was considering that fact that she got that sexual transmitted diseases from somewhere else. So with this type of psychopath and the way they are making you miserable during the relationship, especially in the long term relationship, you are questioning everything. You don't understand where is real and what is the illusion. And even if you see a clear fact, because they are so strong about the lie that they are telling to you,
Mhm.
that you are starting to question again yourself. But we will talk about narcissistic relationship in other episodes, so it will be more clear for everybody to understand the the progress and all the parts of that.
Yeah, the examples that you gave, those are mostly called gaslighting. I can tell you something, even though you know the truth. I'll tell you the way I can tell you that you are going to believe that whatever you know is false. So it's kind of that. Like, yes, in that scenario, what you spoke about, that woman started to believe, did I have sex with someone? even though she knows that she never had sex with anyone, now she is questioning herself instead of thinking about what her partner is saying. So that is
Yes,
gaslighting.
and
Yes.
after that there is also yes, gaslighting and a lot of blame. What is happening usually, like, there, you don't trust me, why you detest, why you don't talk with me, like, this is your problem that you cannot trust me because I'm honest 100% with you, and I always like this type of conversations. And then you are feeling bad despite the fact that that person cheated on you. You are feeling bad that you question him, that you didn't trust him. So it's complex. With psychopath, it's always, for me, it's a fun way. When you start to understand, when you see their behavior, it's very interesting to have a conversation.
Yeah. Yes, of course. It's interesting. We'll have a separate topic, separate podcast on this. So coming back to the cheating, now let's talk about how and what can go wrong, because there is so much involved here. Because if it is a long-term relationship and one of the partner is involved in the cheating, let's talk about the consequences as a partner, two partners, and how also when they have children and when they do not have children, and how does that impact both person's life as well children and anybody involved, um, family, friends, and everything else, how that impacts.
um let's start from the relationships that who don't have a children. I
Mhm.
think in that situation, when there is a cheating, I just remember and reflecting on my clients. Most of them are going to the isolation. When they understood that there is a cheating episode and when they caught, it's really damaging. It's really, really damaging personalities. That personalities who experience that. Why? Because there is a lot of shame and blame. And they really isolate themselves for years. And for them, it's very hard to start a new relationship. I had a couple of clients. I cannot say how many, but the tendency is the same.
Mhm.
If I'm working with a woman most of the time, and the tendency is the same, that they are divorcing with that partner, they are starting to prove that they are worthy to be loved.
Mhm.
Their self-esteem are going very down. They are questioning about themselves in general. Am I
Mhm.
beautiful? Am I smart? All the, small things what partner said bad about them, it become the main goal that they want to solve. And it's not always a toxic relationship, usually, and in a healthy relationship. You are starting to question where I am wrong. And
Mhm.
after that, to go back to the dating stage, it's extremely hard, because it's always in your subconscious to trust the person. Does he really, that I really can, trust him. And all the stories around what you are hearing, that everybody is cheating, there's no honesty, there's no healthy relationship, you cannot trust anyone. And usually they are isolating themselves for 2, 3, sometimes 4 years or even more. And to start dating is extremely hard. So this is my experience from the client who saw that cheating. Of course, there are people who are trying to um, forgive and build relationship after that. The partners are telling that they won't do this anymore, and so on and so on. But usually it continues, unrepeatable situations that I know from my experience. I don't have experience for the relationship, even if there is no children, who would have a relationship that after first episode of cheating, that person won't repeat it again.
Yeah, but there
And
could.
also, Also, I have an experience with very close my relative.
Hmm.
He had a girlfriend, and girlfriend cheated with him. He forgave her, and then that was repeatable. And like it's after that, he also isolated himself for a couple of years. Just after that, he tried to have a partner, but it's damaging when you don't have children. It's, it's usually going to isolating from any kind of romantic relationship for time frame.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is now you are a victim of a, not victim, I mean, in the terms of victim means how much you got hurt from that relationship because you are emotionally broken because your trust was broken. And building that trust with a new partner is going to be questionable because you are not going to trust someone else in a new relationship so easily because it will be always be there because that is what's made you uh, come to this new relationship because of your past experiences. And no matter what, it will be there in that person's head.
Yes, and it's very hard to trust, and it's a lot of dealing with yourself.
Yeah,
So, because you will question all the time, it will come up because this is experience what's already in your head but as a memory and as a painful memory. So,
yeah,
it's not possible that you won't question your partner. Uh, of course, when you are starting your first relationship, you have some questions, and especially when the behavior is not in the way that you think that romantic relationship should be. But yes, you will question more, and this really, after cheating, to have a relationship, the other partner is supposed to understand that, support that, and give you that, um how to say, that
it's to
bubble.
heal, healing together in that with a new
Yes,
partner.
but it's lifetime. It's not, you cannot solve, you cannot heal. I think that it will always be there because after that, what is happening? You
Mhm.
are starting to think that you are also a problem of cheating, that you did something wrong, you don't didn't act the way you're supposed to act. Like you have your own blame. And when you see the same happening with your new partner, you
Mhm.
will start to think if he would behave the way your ex
Previous.
partner
Yeah.
behaved. So like it's not healed. So it's like when you understand and when you have the relationship with someone who experienced cheating, you should understand that this is where you always have to be aware of because of the situation that the person went through.
Yeah. So, what is your suggestions? People who are coming out of a relationship that cheating is involved, and you are freshly wounded. What is your suggestions for those audiences, those clients?
At the beginning, after the cheating,
Yes.
first of all, speak up. Don't blame yourself and clearly speak. When you start to speak, when you start to talk with everybody, because usually what people are doing, they are struggling to tell to everyone, struggling to say what is going on. And when you are starting to speak, you will start to feel better. You will start to feel accepted to the people who are good with you. Because what is happening usually, in the long term, even 2 or 3 years, you have a friend circle together with a partner. And when you have a divorce, the friend circle will separate. It's very natural. And when you are hiding the reason of divorce by telling we are not belong, like we are not
Telling lies, basically.
yes, this is where you see and where you have more pain.
Hmm.
But when you tell very clearly what is happening, what is the situation, then you will see who is who.
Yes.
Because the more you try to pretend that this is not the reason or there are some other reasons, and not talking about that because of, it's always, you don't want to hurt that, especially at the beginning. You don't want to hurt that person, as I mentioned, because there are a conflict of the feelings. You still love that person because yesterday you didn't know this information. So all those feelings for, I don't know, 2 3 years 10 years of being together still are there. And
Hmm.
there is a feeling of a lot of anger and all other stuff. And when there are mixed those feelings, it's very hard to tell something bad about that person, because you cannot clearly identify that this is he and his behavior and this is his responsibilities. As those cats, that cat who didn't allow him to get inside the home, she didn't question what bad she did. She knew that he did a mistake. It's not my fault.
Yes.
Because if he wants to cheat with someone, get out of the home. I will find someone else. So this is also what is happening. We are, that forgiveness thing making us to be ashamed and guilty for the situation, but we need to clearly identify this person choose to cheat on us, choose to disrespect us, not just us, but also in front of everybody. Because to be cheated, it's a social thing.
Hmm.
Because this is, especially in a man circle, all of those communication. Oh, I slept with her, with this coworker. Oh, me too. So it shows a lot, and this is what the conversation is happening between the man in
Mm.
their circle, that is not going out to the woman communities, because this is, but this is a lot. Social pressure is huge in this area. So you have to understand what kind of situation you are putting in a social area also. So I think you have to identify and you have to openly speak about that.
Yeah,
What
very
is
true.
that?
And I agree about those that do not blame yourself like the cat. It's not your fault if you are being victim of a cheating partner. And we have this channel for the silent voice. And if you wanted to share your stories, you are welcome. And you can talk to us. We can share your stories. Don't blame yourself. Share your stories to your friends, family, and don't be ashamed that you are a victim, because that is the first thing, that to be open. That is why we started this channel, to tell your stories if you wanted to reach to the global community, to let everybody know if you are being cheated. I have few clients too, like a mixed female and male, and I have different stories. Maybe we'll share in another episode. Then we'll talk about the consequences, because I have a lot of the stories about the consequences. Then we can
Me too.
do, do a second one. Uh, but I would suggest few additional suggestion is to, if you are coming out of this relationship and cheating, you are victim of that, come talk to us, talk to Raminda, talk to me, or find someone who you wanted to talk as a coach, or go to a therapist that you can trust. You can find that space to express your feelings, express yourself, how you're feeling. Because first thing first, you need to get your trust, your strength, and your confidence back again, in order for you to feel better for yourself and not to feel miserable because of the other partner.
I agree because after that you need to become yourself, and because of the situation where you are pushed without your permission, without your knowing,
Mm.
without like your agreeing, you didn't expect that. And usually, you was so genuine, so honest, dedicated to the relationship, and trying to be that partner, and behind your back there is a partner who's choosing the easier way to take his like needs. So yes, don't blame yourself, clearly identify, and if you want, just reach out to us to speak.
Thank you. And we'll continue this conversation um, in later episodes. Um,
Yes,
Thank you, everyone, for watching this and getting some wisdom from me and Raminta. Thanks, Raminta, for being here.
thank you all, and thank you for watching. And if you want to share, be free to share, because I think that it's very valuable information for some of people that you can have close to you. So thank you and bye.
Bye.